along with the acceleration comes resistance. So when I was swimming, if you swam butterfly, if you took your hands through the end of the stroke twice as fast, you got 4 times the acceleration. It's called the inverse square law of hydrodynamics. If you put your hand through 4 times as fast, you get 16 times the acceleration. So when you watch your, what's the, like, I just spaced his name.
Joseph Schooling.
That kid is something else. And watch him, next time you watch him swim, watch how fast his hands go through the end. It's like when somebody finishes throwing a baseball, it's a snap at the end. It's the acceleration at the end gives them all the speed. The problem is, as speed goes up, 4 to 16, so does the resistance on his body. So you got to shave all your body hair off. You got to make sure you're really clean in the water, because acceleration goes up proportionally with resistance. So the faster things change, the more people are going to resist, the more your bureaucracies are going to resist. And it's just a fact. It's a fact of life. So here's I think the key physics point here is in nonlinear acceleration. How many of you have been reading about AI and singularity and all that stuff? Kind of have a sense of it. Okay, I think it ought to be required reading from 5th grade on, and in all the universities, and everybody ought to be required to intellectualize what this means. But basically, along the bottom of the graph is the accumulation of knowledge and the rate of change from 10,000 years ago till just recently. So it came up a little bit during the Industrial Revolution, after we learned how to communicate with the written word, and the Industrial Revolution popped it a little bit. Then computers and the ubiquitous communications popped it again. But we are now at the beginning, what they call narrow AI, which is the area right there at the beginning of the elbow. Call it the elbow of change. Your handheld device can do a lot of things that your brain can't do, but it doesn't program itself, and it doesn't program any other devices. When that starts happening, which could happen anytime in the they're saying next 12 to 25 years. When that happens, we're in general AI. And the machines, when they can start programming each other, they can start sharing their coding and the data they're accumulating. You go from 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0 instead of years between generations of software. You're talking about seconds or nanoseconds. And so the rate at which things can change, we can accumulate knowledge, and computing power will grow exponentially, and eventually gets to this point called the singularity. So Ray Kurzweil, who's a famous futurist, because he's predicted so many things that came true right on time, has termed the singularity a point where the advancement of knowledge and productive capacity is instantaneous, and our brains and the machines become one. So it's Star Trek stuff.